So today's lesson, we are going to learn about integer subtraction. We've already been looking at subtracting integers. Remember, integers are negative and positive numbers. We talked about using counters to subtract integers. So today in the lesson, we are going to look at using number lines and how we can start recognizing some patterns and subtract integers in our head. So let's first start by getting out our math spiral and opening to a new blank page. And at the top of the page, write the title of today's lesson, nice and big at the top of the page, integer subtraction. When you're done, put your pencils down and we will continue with the lesson. So when you are subtracting integers, you move to the left of a number line to subtract a positive integer. And you've been subtracting positive integers since elementary school. So you know, hopefully, if you remember using number lines in elementary school, that as your number goes down, you move to the left. So as you subtract, you're going to the left. So if I have 7 minus 2, I start at 7 and I go to the left 2. 1, 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. But when you add negative numbers in there is when it gets a little bit more complicated. When you subtract a positive, you move to the left, but when you subtract a negative, you are actually going to move to the right. And what you guys hopefully noticed is as we were using counters and we were taking away negative numbers, our answer was going up instead of down. It was getting larger instead of smaller, which is what we're used to when subtracting, which is why when we subtract a negative, we move to the right because our number is getting bigger. So let's look at some examples here. Here we have negative 4 minus 3. So we're starting on negative 4 and we are taking away positive 3. So we're moving to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. Where we end is our answer. Negative 4 minus 3 equals negative 7. Even though we have negative 4, what matters is what we are taking away from that first number. We are taking away positive 3, which is why we move to the left and not to the right on the number line. Take a minute and copy everything that you see on this slide in your notes. Obviously, this number line is bigger than necessary, so don't waste too much time copying the large number line. Just get the numbers that are needed. Make sure you have negative 4 and make sure it goes at least to negative 7 so you can show your jumps. Pause the video and copy this into your notes. Let's look at 2 more examples of how to use number lines to show integer subtraction. This number line starts at positive 4 and we are taking away negative 3. Remember, when you take away a negative, you move to the right, not to the left. Our answer is going to get larger, not smaller. So we start at positive 4 and we move to the right 3. 4, moving to the right, 1, 2, 3. We end at 7. So positive 4 minus negative 3 equals 7. This next number line starts with a negative and we are taking away a negative. So we start at negative 8 and we are taking away negative 12. Because the second number is negative that we are taking away, that means we are going to move to the right 12 places from negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So negative 8 minus negative 12 equals 4. Pause the video now and copy both of these examples into your notes. Let's look at 2 more examples of integer subtraction using number lines, and let's work them out together. The first example is 1 minus 10. A lot of times my students, without thinking, will say the answer is 9. But be very careful. Order matters in subtraction. This is not the same as 10 minus 1. Put up one finger. Can you take away 10 fingers if you only have one? In elementary school, they told you that you couldn't and that you had to start with the bigger number. In middle school, I'm telling you that you can, but your answer is going to be a negative number. So we are starting with 1. So that's where we're going to start on our number line. So we're going to circle 1, and we're taking away 10. This is a subtraction sign. That means our 10 is positive. So we're going to the left 10, starting at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 minus 10 is negative 9. Let's do another example together. In number 2, we are doing 0 minus negative 7. So we're starting at 0. But now we are taking away a negative number. Remember, when you take away a negative number, it's the same as adding, which means we move to the right on our number line. Starting at 0, we're going to go to the right 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 0 minus negative 7 is 7. Positive 7. Hopefully, between the counters and the number lines, you're starting to see how subtraction and addition are related. This is the most important thing for my students to see. A lot of times, my students don't realize that relationship, so they just end up memorizing the rules. We will also talk about the rules next, but if you understand the relationship, it makes the rules make more sense. I'm not going to have you copy these examples of the number lines into your notes. You've already drawn 3 number lines, and number lines take a little bit of time to draw. I think 3 examples are enough for you to go back and look at when you are doing your assignment later this week. Before we move on to talking about the rules, I would like for us to try a few guided practice problems using number lines to subtract integers. Put your notes on the side of your desk. Do not put them away. We are not done with notes for today. Get a Expo marker and a sock from the boxes on your desk. Try number 1. Solve it using a number line. I know many of us think that we can do this without a number line, but let's practice a few problems using a number line. The first problem is negative 8 minus negative 3. Pause the video and try this problem on your desk. Hopefully, everybody has had a chance to try this problem on their desk. So we are starting with negative 8, and we are subtracting a negative, which means we are moving to the right on a number line. Starting at negative 8, 1, 2, 3. Negative 8 minus negative 3 is negative 5. Pause the video and try the second problem on your desk. For this problem, we are starting at positive 5. and we are taking away positive 4. This is a very simple problem, probably something you could have easily solved without a number line. But it's still good for us to see how the number lines are used for subtraction. We are subtracting a positive, so we go to the left, 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Let's try one more subtracting integer problem using a number line before we go back to our notes. Pause the video and try -6 minus 2 on your desk. For this problem, we are starting at -6. We are taking away positive 2. When we subtract positives, we go to the left. So -6 minus 2 is -8. I hope these number lines are helpful in getting you to understand how to subtract negatives. But now I want us to look at the rule and hopefully see the relationship if we have not already. Many of you might already be able to start subtracting integers in your head without the counters or without the number lines. That is our ultimate goal. You won't always have a counter or a time to draw a number line. So sometimes we have to have another strategy to solve our subtraction problems. That is what we are going to look at now. Go ahead and put your lids on your markers. You don't need to put them away. We will use them again later in this lesson. Just put them on the side of your desk and get your notes back in front of you. So let's talk about the relationship that we should have noticed using the counters and the number line. If you understand the relationship, you will understand these steps and rules that we are going to look at now. Subtraction of negatives and addition are related. So you can actually change every subtraction problem to an addition problem that is related to it. A lot of times when this connection is made, it makes the most sense for my students. They find it very easy to add integers, but a little bit tricky to subtract integers. So if we can change every subtraction problem to an addition problem, that would make subtraction easier. So that is what we are going to look at now. To change a subtraction problem to an addition problem, you can do it in 3 simple steps. You can remember these steps by remembering the acronym KCF. Keep, change, flip. The K stands for keep. You are going to keep the sign of the first number. The C stands for change. You are going to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. The F stands for flip. You are going to flip the sign of the second number to its opposite. So if the second number is positive, you're going to make it negative. If the second number is negative, you are going to make it positive. Let's pause the video and copy these steps into our notes. Then we will use the steps to do a few example problems subtracting negatives. Pause the video and copy these steps into your notes now. Let's look at some example problems and subtract negatives using keep, change, flip. The first problem that we are going to do is -4 minus 2. We are going to keep the first number, -4. So we're going to keep the sign of the first number. We are going to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. Remember, if this is a subtraction sign, it can't also be a negative. That means the 2 is positive. So we are going to flip the second number to its opposite. The opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. So now we have an addition problem. Negative 4 minus 2 has the same answer as negative 4 plus negative 2. And it's a lot easier for us to add negative numbers than to subtract. So you can think about owing $4 and then owing 2 more. How much do you owe altogether? You owe $6. Negative 4 plus negative 2 is negative 6. But negative 4 minus 2 is also negative 6. That's our first example of keep, change, flip. Let's look at another example using keep, change, flip. Let's do 12 minus negative 8. We are going to keep the first number 12. We are going to change the subtraction sign to addition. We are going to flip negative 8 to its opposite, which is positive 8. So 12 plus 8 equals 20. 12 minus negative 8 is the same solution as 12 plus 8. They are equivalent expressions. So 12 minus negative 8 is also 20. One year, one of my students said, "Hey, Miss Dunn, I notice that when you have a subtraction sign and a negative sign right next to each other, that makes the plus sign. Those two pieces together can be turned and make a plus sign." That helped him to remember that whenever he subtracted a negative, he was actually going to add. I thought that was a really creative way to remember the steps and the relationship between subtraction and addition. If that helps you, I suggest you use that as well. Let's pause the video and copy both of these examples into our notes using keep, change, flip. Pause the video and copy this now. Let's look at one more example together using keep, change, flip to solve an integer subtraction problem before you guys try some problems on your desk. So let's look at negative 15 minus negative 7. We are going to keep the sign of the first number negative. We are going to change the operation from subtraction to addition, and we are going to flip the second number to its opposite. The opposite of negative 7 is positive 7. This is where it gets a little tricky when we are adding a negative and a positive. I like to think about money. If I owe $15 and I have $7, I can pay off part of what I owe, but then I'm still going to owe more money. So I would still owe $8. So my answer is negative 8. A lot of times students rewrite it as subtraction to get that 8. And this is very confusing because you're starting with subtraction, you're going to addition, and then you're thinking about subtraction to solve the addition problem. That can get very, very confusing. If you think about addition using money, I think that's going to be the easiest way for you to do it once it's made into an addition problem. If you start going back and forth between addition and subtraction, you're going to get lost in those steps. So instead, think about this as money. I owe $15. I get $7 to pay off part of what I owe, but then I still owe 8 more. So negative 15 plus 7 equals negative 8. That means that negative 15 minus negative 7 also equals negative 8 because these two problems are related. Please take a second and copy this last example into your notes. Then we will try some practice problems on our desk. Pause the video and copy this example into your notes. Let's put our notes to the side of our desk and get our expo markers and our socks back in front of us so that we can try some problems on our desk. Let's try to do these mentally. I don't want us to use number lines, but you can picture the number line in your head. I don't want you to use counters, but you can picture the counter in your head. Our goal at this point is to try to do these as much as possible with the tools that we have. You can picture number lines, you can picture counters, or you can use keep, change, flip. We are going to skip number 1 because I know that that is a very basic subtraction problem that all of my students can do in their head. So let's start with number 2. Pause the video and try number 2 on your desk. There are so many different ways to do number 2. I'm going to use keep, change, flip since that's our new strategy that we are practicing right now. So I'm going to keep 3. I'm going to change subtraction to addition and flip positive 6 to negative 6. If I owe $6 and I have 3, I pay off part of what I owe and I still owe negative 3. So the answer to number 2 is negative 3. Pause the video and try number 3 on your desk. On number 3, you can use the strategy where you have a negative and a subtraction sign right next to each other. We know that that's addition. Whenever you subtract a negative, you are adding. So this is the same as 10 plus 4. Even if you didn't use that strategy and you used keep, change, flip, your problem would turn out to be 10 plus 4. It's just a shortcut for keep, change, flip. 10 plus 4 is 14. So 10 minus negative 4 is also 14. Pause the video and try number 4 on your desk. On number 4, again, I have a subtraction sign and a negative right next to each other. But we have to keep negative 12. So this is the same as negative 12 plus 4. Again, I have a negative and a positive, and I'm adding. I owe $12. I have 4. I pay off $4 of what I owe, and I still owe 8 more. So negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8. All right, guys, let's continue practicing problems on our desk. Let's try number 5 on our desk. Pause the video and try number 5. For number 5, again, we see the subtraction sign and the negative sign right next to each other. So this is the same as 12 plus 6, which is 18. So 12 minus negative 6 is also 18. Pause the video and try number 6. As you get the hang of noticing the subtraction sign and the negative sign, these problems should be a lot easier. 7 plus 3 is the same as 7 minus negative 3, which is 10. So 7 minus negative 3 is 10. Pause the video and try number 7 on your desk. Number 7, if you do keep, change, flip, or if you use the shortcut of seeing the two negatives and understanding the relationship that makes a positive, this is the same as negative 4 plus 3. I owe $4. I have $3. I can pay off $3 of what I owe and I still owe 1 more. So -4 minus -3 is -1. Pause the video and try number 8 on your desk. Number 8 is the same as 8 plus 2 equals 10. So -8 minus -2 equals 10. Pause the video and try number 9 on your desk. Number 9 can be changed to 19 plus 2, which is the same as 21. So 19 minus -2 equals 21. Pause the video and try number 10 on your desk. Number 10 does not have a negative sign and a subtraction sign right next to each other. So go ahead and use keep, change, flip. Or you can picture a number line. You're starting at -5 and you're going to the left because you're subtracting a positive. You're going to the left 10 more. Using keep, change, flip, this is -5 plus -10. You're adding 10 more negatives to -5. Your answer should be -15. Pause the video and try number 2. Pause the video and try number 11. Keep -2, change to addition, and flip +7 to -7. Again, if you're on a number line, picture starting at -2 and going to the left 7 more. So your answer is -9. Pause the video and try number 12 on your desk. This is a addition problem. We're subtracting a negative, so we're going to go to the right on our number line. Picture starting at 6 and adding 9. So we're going to the right 9. You can also think about money. I owe $6, I have 9. I have enough money to pay off what I owe, and I still have $3 left. Pause the video and try number 13 on your desk. I always think these are going to be the easy ones, but I always get students who flip the numbers in their head and tell me that the answer is 5. This is 4 minus 9, not 9 minus 4. Remember, in subtraction, order matters. Put 4 fingers up. Can you take away 9 if you only have 4? You can, but your answer is going to be negative. Think about starting at 4 on your number line and going to your left 9. This is the same as 4 plus -9. You owe $9. You pay off 4. You still owe 5 more. Pause the video and try number 14 on your desk. Number 14, if you think about a number line, you're starting on -3 and you're going to the left 7 more. Or you can do keep, change, flip. Keep -3, change it to addition, flip +7 to -7. You have -3 plus -7. Add and keep it negative, -10. So -3 minus 7 is also -10. Pause the video and let's try one more problem on our desk. Try number 15. Again, a lot of times I get the answer as 4. This is not 8 minus 4. This is 4 minus 8. Put 4 fingers up. Can you take away 8? You can, but your answer is going to be negative. This is 4 plus -8. You owe $8, you pay off 4, you still owe 4 more. Hopefully you guys are starting to get the hang of subtracting negatives, no matter what strategy works best for you. Whether you're using keep, change, flip, picturing counters, picturing a number line in your head, hopefully this is starting to make more and more sense. We will do a lot of practice with this in the coming days. I miss you all, and I hope you're doing great and behaving for the substitute. Have a great day.